freshman to a senior, and I hope this showcases tonight, this performance, what we do here. Just want to backtrack to about 5 o'clock this afternoon. So I come in, we're mopping, we're doing our wonderful thing. We've had 2 wonderful, beautiful shows, and we got comfortable. So I go to the light board and I turn it on like I always do. It comes up, it goes off. So and then I get it back to come back on, and there is no connection between the light board and if you're a theater person, our DMX control panel, it's all just kind of nothing's working. I start changing out cables. Anyway, we are back, and it took us only an hour and a half and 3 phone calls where people from Franklin were coming over, Portland Community College. So my friends that I know out there, thank them, thank you. So with that, what I want to say is these students have worked incredibly hard to bring this show to life. There are some very particular people that I want to thank, and I kind of want to start with the amazing scene design that you see up here. Our proscenium border was painted by Sophia. So programs and the poster. Thank you very much. So that entire backdrop, so Araya, thank you for that. Throughout the performance, and those puppeteers, those creators of that work is Adelaide, it is Araya, it is Rachel, and it is the 4th one, and that wonderful person is called Sophia! Not be more proud of anyone than the cast and crew and the families who have risen to the occasion. I usually have some notes, and I'm just kind of rambling right now. I want to thank Mr. Erickson for printing our shirts, and I also want to say thank Jan White. We all know Jan White. I hope you enjoyed the miraculous journey of Edward Tulane. Thank you.
Once, in a house on Egypt Street, there lived a rabbit made almost entirely of china. How did the rabbit come to be here? Did the rabbit belong in this fine house? Was this the rabbit's home? Ah, now that is an interesting question.
Grandmother, you're back.
You didn't think I would miss your birthday, did you?
Oh, grandmother, for me?
Yes, Abilene. Happy birthday.
He is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
You are the most beautiful. But yes, he is indeed quite handsome.
What's he made of?
China. The finest china. His ears and tail are made with real fur.
They are so soft. And look, his ears bend.
Yes, he was made by the best doll maker in all of Paris, especially for you.
I love his clothes. They are so stylish. And look at his shoes!
Yes, he must always look his best if he's going to be seen with you, my lady. This isn't his only outfit either. He has an entire wardrobe. His trunk is up in your room.
Thank you! I love him. I will always love him.
I'm glad. You know, I thought you could use some company in this big old house. A special friend. Now, tell me,
shall be his name?
Edward.
Edward? Why Edward?
Just look at him. He's so dignified and refined.
Edward. Yes, you do look like an Edward.
Edward Tulane.
Oh, you've already gone and made him a member of the family, I see.
Of course.
Well, Edward Tulane, I hope you realize how fortunate you are.
I want to show Mother and Father.
And so it was that Edward Tulane came to live at the house on Egypt Street.
And this is the parlor. This is where we entertain. We'll have tea here this afternoon. Come on, I'll show you the garden.
He was very fortunate indeed.
What's that, Edward? Oh, I would be delighted to dance with you. You dance divinely, Lord Edward.
As she said she would, Abilene loved the China Rabbit.
Hang on, Edward. We're going to loop the loop.
Abilene, it's time to get ready for bed.
But we're in the middle of the Trans World International Air Show.
Land the plane. Grandmother Pellegrino will be up soon to tuck you in.
Come on, Edward. Time to put on your silk pajamas.
So fortunate. How many China rabbits have their very own silk pajamas?
Good morning, Edward. Now, would you like to wear your gray suit or your blue pinstripe today?
But of course Edward didn't answer. He never did. He couldn't, you see. His mouth was painted on his china head, as was the rest of his face. But still, he had his thoughts.
What? The gray suit and the dark red tie. Yes, the gray suit today.
I agree. The blue pinstripe it is.
Oh, dear. Well, don't forget my tie. I am devilishly handsome in a tie.
Abilene, come along now. You'll be late for school and I'll be late for work.
I'm almost ready, Father. I just have to put Edward in his chair.
Oh, I know. Edward must be at his station to keep watch.
Father.
Why, hello, Edward. You're looking dapper as always.
What's that, Edward?
Oh. He says thank you, and that you look rather dapper yourself.
Why, thank you, Edward.
Now, Edward didn't say any such thing. He couldn't with his painted mouth, after all. But what he was really thinking was...
What? Oh, right. I do look good. Somehow I make the pinstripe work, don't I? Now be careful you don't wrinkle my jacket. And fix the tie. Sure, it's crooked. You really must be more careful with my tie.
Oh, your watch. I remember. There you are. Now remember, when the big hand is on 12 and the little hand is on 3, I will come home to you. You'll see me coming right up the walk. Have a pleasant day looking out the window.
Abilene.
The tie! Fix the tie! Oh, dear.
And so Edward Tulane spent his days looking out onto Egypt Street, listening to the ticking of his watch. And at 3 o'clock, Abilene would return.
Hello, Edward. I'm home. And how was your day? What? Oh, you're back. What are you doing? Don't move me now. It will be dark soon. I'll be able to see my reflection in the window. Oh, Edward. I wish everyone were as considerate and as nice as you. Uh-huh. Cynthia Worthington is so mean. She wouldn't let me have a turn at recess today. You don't say.
You're right, Edward. It doesn't matter anymore. I'm home with you now. Let's go for a walk in the garden and forget all about Cynthia Worthington.
Life continued this way for quite some time, a few years in fact. Abilene shared all her thoughts and secrets with Edward, and she made sure that the other members of the family included Edward in their conversations as well.
And so tomorrow I'm going to have lunch with the gentleman.
Excuse me, Father. I don't believe Edward heard what you just said.
Oh, pardon me, Edward. I said I was going to have lunch with the president of the bank. I'm quite looking forward to it, you see. He should be able to tell me what's possible.
Blah, blah, blah. Must he go on so? I mean, really.
Yes, Edward had little patience for people. What they said didn't interest him, unless they were talking about him, of course. Now, nobody knew this. Nobody could read his thoughts. That is, nobody except for perhaps one.
I'm not really that sleepy, grandmother.
I can see that. But nonetheless, to sleep you must go. You have school in the morning.
Edward isn't sleepy
rabbits don't need as much sleep as little girls. I assume that Edward spends the hours remembering how lucky he is to have you.
What is that supposed to mean? Will you tell us a story tonight?
Oh, not tonight, lady, but soon. Soon there will be a story.
Why does she stare at me like I'm some criminal? And why can't she ever lay me on my side so I can look out the window? There are stars out there. Good night, grandmother.
Good night, my lady. Pleasant adventures in the land of Nod.
Good night, Edward. I love you.
Wait! Turn me on my side! What is so difficult to understand? That Pellegrina. She does this on purpose, I know it. That staring. How rude!
One day, it was announced that the family would take a voyage on a great ship.
But why won't you sail to London with us?
Because I will not. That is why.
But I'll miss you.
I'm glad.
You're glad?
Yes. When those we love are not with us, we miss them. I will miss you, but instead of feeling sad, I will look forward to the wonderful moment when we see each other again.
It seems to me that it would be better to stay together in the first place.
We are all on our own journeys, my lady. We cannot always be with those we love.
Well, you can try.
Yes, I suppose we can. Now tell me, will Edward be joining you on this voyage?
Of course. How could I possibly go on a journey without Edward?
Ah, yes. How could you possibly?
Edward watches out for me.
He does. I see.
There she goes staring at me again.
Will you tell us a story tonight?
Yes, I believe that tonight there will be a story.
Shall Edward listen too?
Oh, yes. Edward should pay particularly close attention to this one.
I don't like the sound of that at all.
This story begins with a princess.
A princess?
A beautiful princess?
A very beautiful princess.
How beautiful?
You must listen, both of you. This story begins with a princess who was very beautiful. She shone as bright as the stars on a moonless night.
As bright as the stars on a moonless night. That's quite nice, actually.
But what difference did it make that she was beautiful? None. No difference.
Why did it make no difference?
Because she was a princess who loved no one and cared nothing for love, even though there were many who loved her. And so...
What?
And so, what?
And so her father, the king, said that she must marry. A few days later, a prince from a nearby kingdom arrived. As soon as he laid eyes on the princess, he fell in love with her, and placing a ring of pure gold on her finger, he said, "I love you." But do you know what the princess did? She took the ring off of her finger, put it in her mouth, and swallowed it.
That is what I think of love!
Said the princess as she ran from the palace and into the woods. Deep, deep into the woods she ran, until she stopped to catch her breath. Looking around, the princess realized that she was lost, and she remained lost for many days.
Did the prince come and find her?
Listen. After a while, the princess came across a little hut. She knocked on the door. "Let me in. I am cold." But there was no answer. She knocked again.
Let me in! I am
Hungry! Suddenly, a terrible voice from inside the hut answered,
enter if you must!
Opening the door, the princess saw an old witch.
Ugh.
I am lost. What of it? I am hungry. Not my concern. But I'm a beautiful princess. My father is a powerful king. You must help me or there will be consequences. Consequences, said the witch. You dare speak to me of consequences? Very well then. Tell me the name of whom you love. Love, said the princess, stamping her foot. Why must everybody speak of love? You must, said the witch. Tell me, whom do you love? I love? No one, said the princess proudly. You disappoint me, said the witch, and raising her hand and pointing a finger at the princess, the witch said only one word. Offering! And in an instant, the beautiful princess was changed into a warthog. The warthog princess ran from the hut and back into the woods. There, she came across a group of several men. These men had been sent by the king to look for a beautiful princess, so when they saw an ugly warthog, they shot it. Pow! No! Yes, the men took the warthog back to the palace. There, a cook slit open its belly, and inside found a ring. Pure gold. The cook put the ring on her finger and continued butchering the warthog. And the ring shone on the cook's hand as she did her work. The end. No! Yes, the end.
But it can't be. It came too quickly, and no one is living happily ever after.
How can there be a happy ending if there is no love? Now, you must get some rest. You have a big adventure ahead of you tomorrow. A new journey begins.
What are you doing with Edward?
Why, I'm simply saying bon voyage. Should I not have the opportunity to do so tomorrow? I'll return him in a moment. You disappoint me. Good night.
Good night, grandmother.
What was that? This is why I don't listen to stories. They are always pointless. A warthog. How grotesque.
Good night, Edward. I love you. No matter how old I get, I will always love you.
Yes, yes, but turn me on my side so that I can look out the window. As bright as the stars on a moonless night. What a wonderful phrase.
And the next day, Edward, Abilene, and her parents set sail for England.
The ship was a marvelous one, with shiny wooden decks, round windows, and well-dressed people everywhere.
While Edward had little use for people in general, he appreciated the fact that he was now surrounded by those of such high social standard.
Shall we sit up here on deck, Edward? I believe the sea air will do us good.
Is my tie on straight? I'm sure to be complimented on the tie.
My, what a singular rabbit.
What did I tell you?
Thank you.
Oh, I do say, I have never seen such a singular rabbit.
I know. His name is Edward. Edward Tulane.
What a perfect name for one such as he. Brava, my dear, brava.
Wait, why are you saying brava to her? She didn't do anything.
Lady Kensington must see this delectable creature.
Lady Kensington?
A lady? Like an English one?
Oh yes, she's married to an earl or a duke or something of that sort. Now I must go find her. She'll be very impressed with Master Edward Tulane.
Did you hear that? I will impress her. How do you do, my Lady Kensington?
Let's sit you here, Edward. There. You look like you were born for the sea in your sailor suit. Oh, your watch! I forgot to wind it this morning. I'd better take care of that. What would you do if you didn't know the correct time, You might miss tea. We can't have that.
Look, I have more admirers approaching. Out of the way!
Hey, what does he do?
He doesn't do anything.
Does he run guns?
Certainly not.
Then what's the point of him?
The point is that he is Edward.
Well said.
What's he supposed to be wearing?
It's a sailor suit. It's very
don't like these two heathens. Take me away. Let's find Lady Kensington.
Does it come off?
What? Of course it does. He has many different outfits. He even has his own silk pajamas.
You hear that, Amos? He has his own silk pajamas. Let me see him.
No! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
That's about right.
Help me!
And Edward flew over the railing and sailed out over the ocean.
How does a China rabbit die? Can a China rabbit drown? Is my tie still on straight?
He got one last glimpse of Abilene, standing on the deck, holding his gold pocket watch in her outstretched hand.
My pocket watch! I'll give that!
Abilene disappeared from view as Edward Tulane hit the water.
Lady Kensington.
And he began to sink. He went down, down.
If I were going to drown, certainly I would have done so by now.
He kept his eyes open the whole time, not because he was brave, but because he had no other choice.
It's getting awfully dark.
Finally, he landed on the ocean floor, face down in the mud.
I don't like this. I don't like this one bit.
Hours passed.
Abilene will come and find me. It is just like waiting for her to come home from school. If only I had my watch.
Days passed, and Abilene didn't come. Edward, for lack of anything better to do, started to think.
Are the stars still shining, even though I can't see them anymore?
More days passed.
As bright as the stars on a moonless night. I will never see the stars again.
Weeks passed.
Why did the beautiful princess turn into a warthog? Why? Because the ugly witch turned her into one, that is why.
And then months.
Pellegrina is like the witch. No, she is the witch. She didn't turn me into a warthog, but just the same. Why is she punishing me?
On the 297th day, a powerful storm came.
I'm out of the box. At last! Whoa, wait! What's happening? Help! Please, someone help! No! Wait! I can see the light! I can see light!
Up to the surface he came. For a moment he could see the angry sky, and the wind rushed through his ears. It almost sounded like laughter.
Pellegrina, is it you?
But before he could hear an answer, he was tossed back down into the depths.
No! I can't go back there again, please!
Suddenly, Edward found himself in the middle of a net, a fisherman's net, and before he knew what had happened, Edward was pulled up out of the water.
Eh? What's this? You're no fish, that's for sure. You're a rabbit, I reckon. Or you're all at once. A toy rabbit. I'll take you back to Nellie, she'll fix you up. For now, you just set yourself right on down here. The other nice view for the ride home.
Don't bother. I never want to look at the ocean again.
That was quite a storm you had, wasn't it? What is past now? It's turned into a fine sunny day.
And as the fishing boat made its way back to shore, Edward felt the sun on his face and the wind blowing through the little bits of fur left on his ears.
I'm alive. I'm alive.
Looks like you're enjoying the ride.
I believe I am.
Back on land, the old fisherman paraded Edward through the seaside village.
Wait till Nellie gets out of you. You'll like Nellie, you will. She's had a sadness, but she's no hard girl.
What have you got there, Lawrence?
Fresh catch. Rabbit from the sea.
I see. It doesn't look very tasty.
It?
No, Marjorie, I don't suppose so.
You taking it home to Nellie, are you?
Oh yeah, that was my thinking.
Can't imagine what she'd want with it.
Really?
Well, you never know.
Ain't that the truth? Well, have a good evening, Lawrence.
Pleasant evening to you, Marjorie.
I am not an it, thank you very much.
Look up there. That's your North Star.
North Star. Do all your stars have names?
You ain't never have to be lost if you know that, fellas.
North Star. I didn't think I would see the stars again.
The fisherman and Edward finally arrived at a little green cottage.
I know. Look here. I brought you something from the sea.
I don't want nothing from the sea, Lawrence.
Ah, Nellie, don't be like that. Take a look.
A rabbit? Oh, Lawrence, you brought me a rabbit.
It must have gotten turned up in the storm.
Oh my, have you ever seen anything so fine?
This is one very discerning woman.
She's beautiful. She? What shall I call her?
Do I look like a girl?
I was thinking Susanna.
Susanna. Just right.
First I'm an it, now I'm a she. Oh, dear.
Well, Susanna, you'll be needing some clothes now, won't ya?
And so, the next morning, Nellie made some clothes for Edward Tulane, who is now Susanna. The dress she made was cotton and simple. She made his ears and tail as well, though not with real fur.
Susanna, if I don't get started on that bread soon, you won't have any for supper. Now, you sit right here and keep me company.
No, don't set me by the window. Anyone walking by will see me in this ridiculous dress.
You know, it gets lonely here all day while Lawrence is out to sea. Back when the children were little, I had my hands full. You can be sure of that. For now the days seem awful and empty.
At least you're not on the bottom of the ocean with your head in the muck.
I wonder, Susanna, how you came to be at the bottom of the ocean?
Pellegrino.
You poor thing, stuck down there in the dark and cold, separated from the ones you love. Love? I suppose you know a thing or two about loneliness yourself.
Loneliness, yes.
But now you're here, Susanna from the sea. Do you like the dress? I was never much of a seamstress, but it's the best I could do.
Doesn't really matter what I wear.
My daughter, Lolly, always makes fun of the clothes I make. She says that people should only wear clothes sold in shops. She's a working girl, my Lolly. She's a secretary in one of those tall buildings up in Boston. She works on the 9th floor, and she has to take an elevator to get to work. Can you imagine? You'll ever see me on one of those things.
No, I don't suppose I will.
Lolly's the oldest, and then there's Ralph. Ralph's working in the lumber mill up north. We don't see much of him. And then there was Raymond, our youngest. He died, you see, when he was just 5 years old. Pneumonia. He drowned inside of himself. It is a horrible, terrible thing. The worst thing to watch someone you love die right in front of you and not be able to do nothing about it.
You've had your sadness.
I dream about him most nights.
What is it like to dream?
I suppose you think I'm daft, talking to a toy. It seems to me that you're really listening, Susanna.
I am, Nellie. I am.
One night before supper, Lawrence went digging in the attic.
What are you doing with that high chair, Lawrence? You know that I don't want to see
Ants?
anything.
Or Suzanne?
Susanna?
Me? I sir am not a baby. I am a rabbit.
I thought she liked to sit at the table with us. I've been feeling awful bad about neglecting her for supper.
Oh, Lawrence, you're right. Here's Susanna and Halloween. Try out. No! Now I put up with Susanna and the dress, but I really must draw the line at... There you go. Now really, how would you like it if... Oh. Quite a nice view from up here, don't you?
I think she looks happy there.
Yup, I believe she likes feeling a part of things. I do.
Now then, what's for dinner?
We're having a stew, although I don't think Susanna's much hungry herself. That's right, none for me. Now, you set yourself down, and I will dish it right up.
After supper, Lawrence would lift Edward onto his shoulder and go out for a walk.
Every sailor needs to know that constellation, Susanna. That's Andromeda. And over there's Pegasus.
Andromeda. Pegasus.
And up there's Cassiopeia.
Cassiopeia.
And that's Ursa Major.
Ursa Major.
I find comfort in the stars. I find comfort in knowing my old friends are out there watching.
Yes.
Our little Raymond, God bless him, he can name you constellations. At the age of 5, he can name nearly any star you pointed out. He had the seen it slowly, did he? Oh, little boy.
Poor little boy.
The rabbit stayed with the old fisherman and his wife for many weeks, listening to stories and memories, and when his own troubling memories haunted him.
Warthogs, witches, oceans, and darkness.
Nellie was always able to comfort him.
Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. And if that mockingbird don't sing, Mama's gonna buy you a diamond ring.
Night after night, Nellie would sing to the rabbit, gently allowing him to let go of those dark thoughts.
And if that diamond ring turns brass, Mama's gonna buy you a looking glass. And if that looking glass gets broke, Mama's gonna buy you a billy goat.
And so, for a long time, life was sweet.
And then one day, they had a visitor.
Hello, Ma. Lolly! What a surprise! I just had to get out of the city, you know what I mean? It just gets to be too much sometimes, just too much. I'm sure it does, dear. So, I thought I'd surprise you and Pop and spend a weekend in the old hometown. What a wonderful thing to do. If only I knew you were coming, I would have tidied up a bit. The house is a mess. It looks fine to me, Ma. You know, I hardly stay in housework myself. Someday, I'm going to get myself a maid, I tell you. A maid? Can you imagine? What's this? That's Susanna. Susanna? You went and got yourself a toy rabbit called Susanna? Your father found her. She came up in the net. She didn't have no clothes on her, so I made her some. Have you gone around the bend, Ma? Rabbits don't need clothes. Well, this one seemed to. I see your sewing skills haven't improved much. How dare you? This dress is perfect. Well, you know me, I do what I can. This Susanna has kind of a creepy look about her. Oh? I don't think so. Well, I do. I don't like the look of you either, with your painted cheeks and lips. Why don't you go back to your ninth floor in your elevator?
What's this old high chair doing here? It's not for the rabbit, is it?
No, no. Your father's fixing it up. We're thinking about selling it, that's all. Your father is out in the back. Won't he be so excited to see you?
That night at supper,
Edward did not sit in his chair.
And the next morning,
Ah! Put me down, you vulgar woman! How would you like it if someone picked you up by the ears?
you got the old folks bewitched, don't you, Susanna? They've been treating you like some kind of rabbit child. The whole town is talking about it. Well, it ain't right. It's sick. That's what it is, and we're going to put an end to it right now. Hey, Mom! Yes, dear? I'm going to take the truck and run some errands. Oh, that's wonderful, dear. Goodbye, then. Wait! Help! No!
Lolly took Edward to the town dump. She threw him on a garbage pile and drove away, leaving the rabbit alone, lying among the orange peels, the coffee grounds, and the rancid bacon.
That mockingbird don't sing. Mama's gonna buy you a diamond ring.
I'll show her. I'll pick her up by the ears and throw her on the garbage pile. That's what I'll do.
As the days passed, more and more garbage was thrown onto the pile, and soon Edward was completely buried.
It's like I'm back at the bottom of the ocean. No. It's worse. How is that possible? How can anything be worse?
Weeks passed.
That mockingbird don't sing. Mama's gonna buy you a diamond ring.
Edward lost track of time.
Only I had my watch.
Pointing a finger at the princess, the witch said only one word. Free! And in an instant, the beautiful princess was changed into a warthog.
Because the princess loved nobody.
You disappoint me.
Why? Why do I disappoint you?
Then, on his 180th day at the dump, Edward felt the garbage around him shifting.
What's happening? Ah!
Suddenly, he saw the light of day again. There, staring him in the face, was a little dog.
Sky, I'm free.
Hey, what you find there, girl?
Stop it!
You think you found the makings of a delicious rabbit pie, do you?
Put me down!
Yeah, rabbit pie is one of the true pleasures of existence.
Never, ever carry me on your back ever again.
I reckon this rabbit won't make for a very good inn. It's made of China.
Of course I'm made of China. I was very expensive. Once.
You're a toy, aren't you? Somehow, you got lost from the child who loves you.
Edward felt a sharp pain in his chest.
Abilene loved me.
So, I'm alone. You are lost. Well, we're lost too. If you like, you could be lost with us. I found it much more agreeable to be lost in the company of others. My name is Bo. This here's Lucy. Would you care to join us?
Well, as long as that dog doesn't.
Course, I'd love to join you, Bo. Oh, you hear that, girl? Malone said, join us. Ain't that swell?
And so it was that Edward Tulane took to the road with a hobo and his dog.
All right, now, Malone, I hope you understand that we are always on the move. We walk mostly, though sometimes we'll enjoy a nice ride on the train if there happens to be an empty boxcar available. Occasionally, we get a ride on the back of a farmer's truck. We're always moving, though, in reality, we ain't going nowhere. That, my friend, is the irony of our constant movement.
As the sun set in the west, the three stopped at the edge of a field.
All right. Now, this seems like a downright comfortable place to spend the night. What do you think, girl? Yeah, I don't think anybody will mind if we sleep here. Now, I'm alone. I don't suppose your kind sleeps very often, so, I'll lay you so you can look up at the stars.
Thank you.
Now, I don't mean to offend you or anything, or comment negatively on your, choice of garb, but, I'm forced to tell you that princess dress is rather impractical for a life on the road.
Princess dress.
However, I have a solution to this problem. In the morning, I'm gonna fix you up with the proper outlaw look. Yes, sir. You're gonna look like a genuine rabbit on the run.
Rabbits on the run.
Oh, yes, sir. First thing in the morning. Oh, looks like you found yourself a new friend, Malone.
I think I found two.
And to the comforting sounds of bull snoring and Lucy's whimpering in her sleep, Edward looked at the stars.
Andromeda. Pegasus. Cassiopeia. Ursa Major. And there's the North Star. We're not really lost. We can see the North Star.
The next day, true to his word, Bull created an outfit for Edward using a bandana and an old hat. Edward Tulane now looked like a genuine rabbit on the run indeed. Susanna was gone. Edward was now alone.
Oh, hold on, Lucy. 1 second. All right, 1 second. All right, hold on, Lucy, right there. Here we go, look at that.
And the three travelers set off for nowhere.
All right, now Malone, your job is to keep watch of where we've been. Will that be all right with you?
I would rather see where we're going, but this will do.
I'll take your silence as agreement then. It's a long way to Tipperary. It's a long way to go. It's a long way to Tipperary, to the sweetest gal I know.
They journeyed for a very long time.
Goodbye to Piccadilly. Farewell, Leicester Square. It's a long, long way to Tipperary, but my heart's right there.
Occasionally, they met up with others who were lost, and together they would all spend an evening around a campfire.
Hey, Jack.
Hey, Bull.
Oh, how's the foot?
It is what it is. Hello, Lucy. Say, where's Malone?
Why, he's right here.
Oh!
Hello, Jack.
You've become quite the celebrity, Malone.
Where have you been, Bull? I haven't seen you around in quite a while. Thought you maybe settled down somewhere.
Oh, now I would settle down, but Lucy and Malone like the traveler's life. Stop anywhere for more than just a day, and Malone just gets that restless look.
You run into any trouble out there on the railroads?
No. Why?
They've been cracking down on folks like us. Hired a bunch more of them watchmen. You know old Pete, don't you? He got roughed up pretty good.
Why would anyone want to pick an old pig?
We need to be extra careful nowadays.
Well, I'm Lucy and Malone, Jack me. Ain't that right, girl?
I used to have a dog. Name was Bullet. He was a good dog, I tell ya. Smart, too. You would have liked her, Lucy. Maybe she'd be your girlfriend.
Oh, I think you embarrassed her. What happened?
She's back with my family in North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Look at Malone. He He's listening to every dang word we're saying.
Yeah, he's a great listener. I bet he's rather impressive ears with all sorts of information, all sorts of stories from back home. He helps me to remember.
Does he? Say, do you think I could have a word with Malone?
Of course you can, Jack. Oh, quiet down, girl. Take the deal right back. How about you go and get some sleep?
You are listening, aren't you? I want to tell you about my kids. There's 3 of them, you see. Helen, Jack Jr., and Tappy. She's the baby. They're all back with my family in North Carolina. I had to leave them. I had to. There was no work and I had to find some. So, I doubt there's any out there nowhere. Now, something could happen to a guy like me. And then my kids, who would? Helen, Jack Jr., and Tappy. You remember their names? Okay, Malone?
Helen, Jack Jr., Taffy. Remember them, Jack.
And word spread about the toy rabbit and his gift for remembering. Soon, wherever they went, a hobo would take Edward aside and whisper the names of his children in the rabbit's ear. Benny, Jimmy,
Patrick,
Nadine, Bobby and Francis,
Peg and Joe,
Billy, Hank, and Sue. And Edward listened.
Ted, he plays baseball.
Ted plays baseball.
Eileen sure looks like her mother.
Eileen looks like her mother.
Frankie and Molly are quite a pair.
Frankie and Molly are quite a pair.
Barbara, Sid, and Michael. He's got a sweet tooth.
Barbara, Sid, and Michael with a sweet tooth.
The rabbit listened to every name, to every story.
So many have lost, and yet they still hold on.
And his heart opened wide and then wider still.
This is love. This must be love.
The rabbit traveled with bold Lucy for 7 happy years.
All right, Lucy. Lucy? Now where are you and Malone hiding?
Here we are.
Oh, why you sneaky little pair of bandits, I'm gonna get you.
You'll never catch us. Run,
Come
Lucy!
here. Oh, whoa. All right. One more time. Come here.
Then one night in a railroad outside of Memphis.
All right, now here is an empty boxcar. In you go. All right, Malone. You're gonna keep the first watch. While Lucy and I are gonna get some shut-eye.
Bull? Somebody's coming. Bull!
Hey, Bob! Wake up!
Shut up! Lucy!
Don't have to kick my dog, mister. It's not her fault.
What do you think this is? Hotel? Well, hey, not
caught one last glimpse of the boxcar before it disappeared into the night.
Help! Lucy!
And then he was on the ground, staring up at the night sky. He could hear Lucy's howls fading into the distance, and then the world was silent.
He couldn't hear Lucy. He couldn't hear the train. He was alone, so he lay there all night.
Although, in truth, where was he going to go? It's not like he was going to get up and walk away on his own. No. Edward Tulane was going nowhere until someone came along to move him. So he lay there all night with the stars and the memories.
Andromeda, Pegasus, Cassiopeia, Abilene looks like her mother. Michael has a sweet tooth. Bull, Lucy. I'm sorry, Lucy. I'm sorry I couldn't stop that terrible man from kicking you. I can't do anything. I can't do anything but lie here. Ursa Major and the North Star. Lawrence, Nellie, Abilene. The house on Egypt streets. Looking out the window. You coming home.
The stars faded as night became day.
Coming home to me.
Nobody knows the troubles I've seen. Nobody knows my sorrow. What's this? Looks like a rabbit. A toy rabbit. How do you end up out here? Well, there's a use for everything, and everything has its use, that's what I say. I know just how I'm gonna use you. Nobody knows the troubles I've seen.
I've seen troubles too. All sorts of troubles.
And so Edward Tulane on the move once again. From the basket, he watched the passing fields and farms. Eventually, the woman opened a gate in an unpainted picket fence, and Edward found himself in a vegetable garden next to an old, run-down farmhouse. A boy was there, too.
What are do you got there?
None of your business. Get back to work. I ain't paying you to stand around asking questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Shoo! 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 Thought those tins would be enough, but they weren't. So now, it's your turn. There. This ought to do it.
He's a rabbit, isn't he?
No. From now on, he's a scarecrow.
He don't look too scary. He looks kind of nice.
What do you know? Stop gawking at the thing and get back to work. I ain't telling you again.
Yes, ma'am.
Now go on, Clyde. You scare them away. Clyde. Come on, Clyde. You gotta act ferocious. Ferocious. You scare them away. I'm gonna go get me some lunch. Shoot! Shoot! Shoot what?
Shoot! Get away from there, you crows. You leave him be.
Bryce, I ain't paying you to do Clyde's job.
I
And I ain't paying you a cent till you shovel out that whole garden.
Yes, ma'am.
And you, scare off them crows. Go on, birds. Go away. Ugh, how pointless. No good as a scarecrow either.
The birds attacked Edward, nipping at his clothing, circling his head. One crow showed particular interest in him.
Is it you? Turn me into a warthog. Anything would be better than this.
Night finally came, and the birds flew away.
If I had wings, I would fly away too. Fly high up to the stars.
But on this night, even the stars seemed to mock him.
You can't fly.
You can't fly.
You can't fly.
You are stuck down there, all alone.
You are stuck down there.
Stuck.
Stuck. All alone.
All alone.
All alone.
We are here together.
We are up here together.
We are up here together.
Together. Together. Together.
I have not always been alone. I have been loved. What difference?
What difference?
What difference does that make? You are alone now.
You are alone now.
You are alone now.
You are alone.
You are alone.
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 Alone. Useless and alone.
Over here. I bet you didn't hear you come back. But here I am. I come to save you.
Save me? Why?
She sure got you up here good, but I'll get you down.
I am Clyde the useless scarecrow.
This ought to do it. I got you. See? I saved you. Now let's get out of here before the old lady catches us.
You saved me, but for what?
My little sister had herself a baby doll made out of china. Just like you. She loved that baby doll, but he broke it. He come home drunk, stepped on the doll's head and smashed it into 100 million pieces. Them pieces was so small, I couldn't make them back together. I couldn't. I tried. Sarah Ruth ain't had nothing to play with since. He won't buy her nothing.
So you want me to be the replacement for a doll?
He says she don't need nothing because she's sick and ain't gonna live. But he don't know.
They arrived at a house. It was small and crooked, not much more than a shack.
Sarah Ruth, honey, I brought you something. That's all right. You go on ahead and cough all you want. It's okay. You want to see what I brought you? You gotta close your eyes first. All right, now you can open them.
dancing doll. Go on, have a good laugh.
Rabbit!
Yes, I am a rabbit.
He's for you, honey.
For me?
Yours. I got it special for you.
Special. For me.
There you go.
Special. Baby.
From the minute I first seen him, I knew you two belonged together. What's his name gonna be?
Jangles.
Jangles, huh?
Jangles.
Nobody has ever held me like this before.
Jangles. Sarah Ruth.
Huh?
Bryce and Sarah Ruth had a father. Later that night, after the brother and sister had fallen asleep, a large foot appeared over Sarah Ruth's bed. Edward felt himself being poked.
I ain't never.
It's a baby doll.
Don't look like no baby doll to me.
Jangles.
He's hers. He belongs to her.
Oh, he does he? Well, it don't matter anyway. It don't matter.
It does so matter.
Don't you sass me!
And their father left.
I'm alright. He hardly touched me. But he'll feel bad about it and won't come around for a while. And that's just fine with us, ain't it, Sarah Ruth?
Bully.
That's right. He ain't nothing but a bully. You go back to sleep now, okay?
I wish I could protect you from that man. I wish I could.
Days passed. Every morning, Bryce went out to find food for his sister. Edward spent all of his time with Sarah Ruth. Some days they played with an old cigar box filled with buttons.
Pretty.
I wish I could protect you from everything.
But I can't.
You just hold on tight.
Hey, honey, I brought you the delicious biscuits now. It's the kind you like best. Now, I'm James, and you and me got a surprise for you. But only if you eat that biscuit, alright? I got this idea the first night I brought it to you. Today, I was working for the junk man, and he said I could have a little bit of this here twine. Of course, took it out of your pay. But I still had enough for a little supper for me and a biscuit for you. So, how are you doing on that thing? Are you done?
No more.
But honey, you've got to fill up your strength. One more bite.
No.
Please?
Can't.
Well, I guess you'll eat enough. Are you ready for your surprise?
Yes.
When you were really little, Mama used to dance with you. She used to hold you and dance you around the room.
Mama died.
Well, now we have another dancer in the house. Dance, Jangles.
What's happening to me?
Dancing!
Do you like it, Sarah Ruth?
Keep playing, Bryce. Make my legs kick again. She likes that.
There. That's alright. You want some fresh air? Let's go take a peek at the stars for a minute.
If I had wings, I would fly way high up to the stars, where the air is clear and sweet. I would hold Sarah Ruth in my arms, and there, high above the world, she could breathe and laugh and talk, and she wouldn't ever have to cough again.
A fallen star. Make a wish, honey. You make a wish for anything you want.
I wish.
Weeks passed. The sun rose and set and rose and set again and again. Sometimes the father came home. Most often he did not. Every evening, Bryce would play the harmonica, and Edward would dance, as Sarah Ruth grew weaker.
Why isn't she laughing?
Sarah Ruth, I'm doing the kicks you like. Sarah Ruth! Keep playing, Bryce. Keep playing.
But Bryce stopped playing.
Please, honey, you gotta eat something. Try. For Jangles and me.
Can't.
Blood. It's alright, honey. You've probably just been having some hard you broke a blood vessel. That's all. Don't you worry about it.
Bryce stopped leaving the house. He never left her side.
Breathe, honey.
Breathe. Please, please breathe.
At night, after Bryce would slip into an exhausted sleep, Edward Tulane listened as Sarah Ruth struggled.
Breathe. Breathe!
Then, on a bright morning in September, 6 months after Edward first came to the shack, Sarah Ruth stopped breathing.
She's gone. James.
Gone. Where did she go?
Their father came. They wrapped her in a blanket and buried her under a tree she had liked. Their father left.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
No reason to stay here no more. Come on, James. We're going to Memphis.
Under a hot, late summer sun, the boy silently carried the rabbit all the way into the city.
I bet nobody's ever seen a dancing rabbit before. Well, they're gonna see one now.
So Edward Tulane danced on a dirty street corner in Memphis. Bryce set out Sarah Ruth's button box in front of them, and people dropped pennies and nickels into it. On and on Bryce played. On and on Edward danced.
Are you crying, Bryce? Tears. Do they help?
People came and went.
Keep playing, Bryce. Keep playing. Pellegrino? Look at me. God, no wish. I have learned how to love, and it's a terrible thing. Come back. Help me.
I'm done now. I ain't gonna cry no more. Looks like we got enough to get us something to eat. Come on, James.
The diner was called Neil's. Bryce sat at the counter. He set Edward on the stool next to him.
Hey there, sugar. Who's your friend?
Jangles. He was my sister's, now he's mine. Him and me's in the show business.
Well, ain't that something? What do you have?
Give some pancakes and some eggs. I want a steak too. I want a big old steak. And some toast and some coffee.
He ate it all and drank 2 cups of coffee.
Oh, you was hungry for sure.
Yes'm.
I reckon show business is hard work. You want anything else, darling? More coffee?
No, thank you, ma'am. I ain't got enough.
I have nothing. Is there a problem, sugar?
I ain't got enough.
I see. Well, you're gonna have to talk to Neil about that. Neil!
You came in here hungry, is that right?
Yes, sir.
you ordered some food, a whole lot of food, and I cooked it in my gratitude, right?
I reckon.
Oh, you reckon?
Yes, sir. I mean, no, sir.
Run, Bryce.
You ordered food, I cooked it, Marlon served it, and you ate it.
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Now, run as fast as you can.
Now, I want my money!
You ever see a rabbit dance before?
What?
You ever before in your life see a rabbit dance? He could dance for you. He could dance to pay for what I ate.
I can. Watch, I'll pay for him, I will!
This is what I think of dance with rabbits.
What are you doing? Give him back. Stop it.
Edward was moving so quickly, he couldn't see Bryce. He couldn't see Neil. He could not see the countertop.
No!
And the world, Edward's world, went black.
I am walking. No strings. No one is controlling me, yet I am walking. Wait, I know this place. Chip Street? How did I get here? Abilene! Lucy?
Hello, Malone. Ready to hit the road?
Oh,
Lucy's been sticking her way for every duck in this country trying to find you again.
she has?
Oh, Suzanne, it's you.
Nellie, Lawrence!
I knew you'd follow the stars back to us.
Stars.
We still have the old pine chair just waiting for you to come back.
Lawrence, what's the name of those stars? I've never seen them before.
That's the Sarah Ruth constellation.
Sarah Ruth!
Edward!
Abilene, look!
I haven't forgotten you. I still say your name every day.
Hey, Jangles.
Bryce, Sarah Ruth is in the stars.
Yep, she is.
She's so far away.
Yeah, but she's still there.
I want to be with her. If I had wings, I could fly to her. If only I had wings. What's happening to me? Wings! Sarah Ruth, I'm coming!
No! You can't go yet!
I'm flying! Sarah Ruth!
I can!
I've got it!
No, no, let me go!
I can't do that, Malone. As much as I'd like to let you go free, we need you here.
Yes! Please, Edward, stay with us!
I couldn't stand to lose you again.
Neither could I. It would break my heart.
It would break my heart.
It would break my heart.
Break my heart.
It would break my heart.
It is broken already! My heart is broken!
Exceedingly well made. A work of art. I would say, yes, I would. A work of art. You don't see craftsmanship like this every day. French, I believe. Yes, French. How did you end up here so dirty and abused? Well, dirt can be dealt with. I fixed your broken head. Now I'll fix the rest of you. Where am I? Ah, there you are. You are listening to me now. Hello? Your head is broken. I fixed it. I brought you back from the world of the dead.
But my heart is still broken.
No need to thank me. It's my job it is. My name is Lucius Clark. I'm a dollman. And a rather good one at that. Your head youngster was in 21 pieces.
21 pieces?
21. I must say, all modesty aside, that only a dollman of my advanced capabilities could have possibly brought you back from the brink of oblivion. A crying little boy brought you here. couldn't afford my services, so he gave me if I promised to repair it.
Bryce.
Quite extraordinary, really. He let you go so that you may live, so to speak. Well, I have much work to do, but when I am done, I shall sell you and make myself a handsome profit. Someday. Eventually. All in good time. In the doll business, we have a saying. There's real time, and there's doll time.
Real time or doll time, it doesn't matter. You should have left my head in 21 pieces. I will never truly be whole again.
Edward Tulane entered doll time, a time of waiting. Slowly and carefully, Lucius Clark did everything he said he would.
Except for the difference of the suit and the very faint lines on his face. Edward Tulane looked the same as he did the day he left the Paris dollmaker, all those many years ago. Edward was placed on a high shelf for display. The shelves were filled with dolls in all sorts of dresses. Edward had never cared much for dolls. They didn't seem to care much for him either.
I hope you don't think anyone is going to buy you. Who would want to buy a rabbit?
I have no interest in being bought.
But don't you want some little girl to take you home and to love you?
Do not speak to me about love. I have no love.
The dolls didn't know how to respond to Edward, and so they didn't. They never spoke to him again. Time passed, the dolls came and went. Every time the door opened, they were all filled with hope that this time would be theirs. But not Edward Tulane.
I am done with hope. I am done with love. I am done.
Here you are, my lovely. Sit here next to this fine gentleman. You two have much in common. You've both been saved.
How do you do?
Hello.
Have you been here long?
Yes, months and months. But I don't care. One place is the same as the other.
Oh, but that's not true. I've lived for 100 years, and I've been to countless places, and every one of them was different. Some were wonderful, and some were dreadful. But they are never the same, and I am never the same either. With every place I become a new doll. That's part of the adventure, you know?
100 years.
At least. That's what the doll mender said.
You don't act like the other dolls.
Well, from those cracks on your face, I would guess you've seen much more life than these young ones have. Am I right?
Yes.
My face has its share of cracks as well. I too have seen life. But we mustn't be too hard on the young ones. They will learn, just like we have, yes?
Yes. Hard lessons.
Oh, wonderful lessons. And we keep learning, don't we? With every new person that comes into our lives, we start off on a new adventure. Oh, I do wonder who will come for me this time. Someone will come. They always do. Eventually.
I don't care if anyone comes for me.
Oh, don't say that. You must keep your heart open, ready to love and to be loved.
I am done with being loved. I am done with loving. It's too painful.
Where is your courage?
Guess I'm done with that too.
You disappoint me.
What did you say?
You heard me. You disappoint me. If you have no intention of loving or being loved, then the whole journey is pointless. You may as well jump off this shelf right now and get it over with.
I would leap if I were able.
Shall I push you?
No. Thank you. Much as you could, anyway.
Open your heart. Someone will come. Someone will come for you, but first, you must open your heart.
The very next morning, a little girl and her mother came to the shop and took away the old doll. Edward felt her absence, and long after she had left, her words echoed in his ears.
Someone will come. Someone will come. No, I don't believe it. It can't be possible. How could I go through it all again? It is too painful. Someone will come.
And every time he thought those words, he allowed himself to hope a little more. Weeks passed.
Someone will come.
Weeks into months, months into seasons.
Someone will come.
Seasons into years.
Someone will come.
And one rainy spring morning, someone came.
Good morning.
Good morning, madam. Right for weather we're having.
My grandmother always said that rain is the price we pay for flowers.
A wise woman. Now, how may I help you today?
I'm looking for something for my daughter, a special friend.
Of course. I am certain you will find what you are looking for. This beauty right here is quite popular.
She's lovely, but I was hoping for something a little more unique.
Of course. Understand? How about this one here? She is one of a kind. The maker never repeats himself.
She is quite beautiful. I don't know. Perhaps a doll isn't right. Perhaps I should think about it a little more. Thank you for your time.
Madam, if I may, I do have one more thing I'd like to show you. This one's not a doll. Perhaps he is what you are looking for. He is not new, but he was exquisitely made and masterfully restored. Ah, the rabbit intrigues you, I see.
I know you. How do I know you? Who are you?
A memory came to Edward Tulane. The memory of a young girl many years ago. A young girl who had grown into a woman.
My watch. Abilene? Edward? Edward. Yes, my name. Edward. It's me.
Once, there was a China rabbit who was loved by a little girl. On an ocean journey, the rabbit fell overboard and was rescued by a fisherman who gave the rabbit to his wife. The rabbit was buried under garbage and unburied by a dog. He traveled with hobos and for a short time, he was a scarecrow. Once, there was a rabbit who loved a little girl and watched her die. The rabbit danced in the streets of Memphis to the music of a sad little boy. The rabbit's head was broken in a diner and put back together again by a doll vendor. The rabbit swore to never make the mistake of loving again. Once, there was a rabbit who danced in the garden with the daughter of the woman who had loved him at the beginning of his journey. As they danced in circles, it was almost as if they had wings and were flying. Once, oh marvelous once, there was a rabbit who found his way home.
wonderful, but we have so many people backstage that don't get to be recognized. So on closing night, we like to recognize them. Can I have Grant Morrison, our lighting light work operator? Our next person is Sammy, our amazing sound. Thank you for all your hard work, Sammy. You were really nice tonight. Our last wonderful tech person is Mars, our spotlight operator. Then in the realm of design and everything, we have Kayla, who designed our program, our shirts, and our costumes. Get over here, Kayla. Next we have Sophia, who designed this arch and the Edward dolls. Next we have our stage managers, who have made this show run from the very beginning, and including through the strike. First, our junior stage manager, Anna Troxel. Now, our senior stage manager, Rachel Kaufman. Last, but certainly not least, we want to thank our amazing director, Michael Payne.
Guys, thank you so very much. My heart full, thank you so very much. Audience members, thank you for coming and taking the journey, the miraculous journey of Edward Tulane.